The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to the Durian Heat. At this segment, we'll be talking and also discussing about how far has Malaysia achieved, and also how far has Malaysia achieved to become a green hub in Southeast Asia. My question to you is, can Malaysia become the hub of green technology in Southeast Asia? And what are the steps or official commitment that the nation has made?
For me, I think that's a $1 trillion question. Yes, I think as we go on to build sustainable development and go on to actually have development process that is more environmentally friendly, of course, green technology seems to be the in word for it.
Yep.
Okay, so it should look from everything from our infrastructure to our transportation, how our power
That's
is
right.
being generated. Globally, investments has been said that it could total, the estimation is like almost 7 trillion globally is estimated, and therefore, you're looking at multiple sources of investments that needs to be mobilized. For this. Public investment is one thing, private investment is another. So whether Malaysia or not has prepared or moved forward towards this, I think we have. We have. We do have our
Malaysian Green Tech
Corporation. We have our plans, and also we have moved that forward, and that is a good aspiration. But I think that there is also something which I would really be a bit wary about, is our capacity, our labor force capacity. Yes, I think that is something we also need to consider as we move along, because these are new areas. Is that right? These are not, it's not business as usual kind of thing. It's like not before. It's taking new technologies, looking at new avenues and alternatives, changing mindsets. Changing lifestyles. All these require capacity, not only from the mindset of the implementers of the government, but also the mindset of the community and the people. So in order for us to be prepared to move forward for green technology, or to be more green in our development, investment, taxation, and all that will come in, we need to do a lot of awareness building.
You talked about the labor force capacity there.
Yes.
How would you elaborate even further? Are you talking about the wages, or the mindset, or the whole people's treatment?
I think the whole
aspect.
The whole aspect. Because first of all, Malaysia demographically is becoming an aging population. Give and take whatever that means. You still have a whole set of young people who are coming up. How exposed are they to new technology?
Right.
How are we gearing our children, our young people, to actually come up to be able to provide this?
So you're also talking about skilled labor forces as well, right?
Yeah, that's skilled labor. Secondly is the mindset also. How many of us are actually green in our daily living? Like what Anthony was saying earlier on, is also about our lifestyle. Our choices, as you said, the home minister, but
correct.
So it's again, as I said, it's not just a woman's thing; it's everybody's responsibility. A man, a woman, the child, everybody.
Just want to point out that Malaysia, we have the Malaysian Green Tech Corporation, which is spearheading the introduction of green technology into the country. We have various new acts that have come in through the Ministry of Energy, Green Technology and Water. One of it is the Renewable Energy Act, from which the Sustainable Energy Development Authority Malaysia has been formed. So that looks into the various aspects of renewable energy in the country. Most people equate Seda Malaysia with solar power. But solar power is actually only a small portion of what Seda Malaysia looks into.
Right.
Hydro, micro hydro, whether it's a biomass, biogas. There's even a geothermal plant in Sabah. Then, of course, we've got the energy efficient vehicle policy. Because of the acronym EEV, people often associate this as electric vehicle.
Electric vehicle, right.
It is not. It doesn't just mean electric vehicle. It covers also hybrid vehicles.
I see.
Yeah. So if you're looking at the introduction of this kind of hybrid technology into Malaysia, or green technology into Malaysia, I often tell people it can be as easy as cycling, and it can be as complicated as a hybrid car or electric car.
Yeah.
Right? So green technology, if you walk, you cycle, you use a bus, that's green. But unfortunately, very often in Malaysia, when somebody talks about green technology, dollar signs or ringgit signs come in front of a person's face. So green technology doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be old, but it has to be efficient. Yesterday, I was watching a video, and this links back to this whole aspect of the labor force. There's a video in Korea, and this guy was doing planting of rice, and the rice seedlings all came in slabs, put onto the tractor, and as the tractor moved, it planted the.
That's correct. There's a technology. Yeah.
There is a technology available, and how many percent of Malaysian paddy fields are still being planted by hand? Question.
That's this majority that you're saying.
Another question would be, and I think this was brought up during the symposium.
For the SDG symposium, yeah, which we attended.
Both of us attended. People coming from overseas and asking, I think there's a Norwegian minister came over to Malaysia and asked, how do you get your palm oil, palm seeds off the tree? And so we use manual labor. So after all these years, haven't you found a mechanized way of doing it? In the same way, even rubber tapping. So when we look at green technology and versus labor force, in the short term, the labor force may seem to be a cheaper solution, but it is a long-term solution that has to be borne by the country. It also means that the investment on newer technology becomes less attractive. Therefore, I don't have to improve my industrial systems as long as I can get cheap labor.
Yeah.
But having these people, wouldn't that be another huge investment from the country?
As Anthony was saying, it's still cheaper than having a new form of investment into technologies. But as I said earlier also, it's not just about the investment on technology. It's investment on our our human capital. Our Malaysians, making sure the young Malaysians and every Malaysian actually is able to access education and exposures that allows them to compete in this new world. You know, why do we need to start way back when you can actually, through education, allow them to leapfrog? And I think that that's critical. If we are going to move, and we are moving to be a developed nation, that is the very most important mindset, the ability, the adaptability of, and a resilient community is needed. And if you look at our Malaysian plans, you know, we have been constantly, the Malaysian government has been constantly focusing on the building of human capital from the 10th Malaysia Plan, even earlier on. And the 11th Malaysia Plan, which we are going to implement, which is to some extent is very much aligned with the SDGs or the other way around, whatever. They are compatible,
Yeah.
and they are moving forward. But as we move forward, as I said, the development needs to take cognizance of our ecosystem, because we don't live in silo. You and I don't just live like this.
Right.
We live with our environment. And as you mentioned, Leonardo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was critical in what he said, because you're part of nature and nature is part of you. And at the end of the day, that is it. And unless and until we learn to actually love nature and respect nature, and actually what I would say, in which Anthony and I and all of us at Malaysian environmental NGOs work on promoting people to embrace their environmental stewardship, is, I think, the most important essence for sustainability.
I guess that's one of the few first steps that we need to take.
Yeah, because unless you are able to accept and acknowledge that it's part of you, green technology, sustainable development goals, is, it's all
And then he's
something.
just shaking his head no way.
Yeah, it's all it's all talk.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's the end of the second segment at the Durian Heat. But don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll continue our conversation after this break.
You're now listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.